April here with UVTV backstage at Reggie's. Tonight I have the pleasure of chilling with Pentagram. Victor, Bobby, how you guys feeling?
Yeah, pretty good.
Feeling pretty good. I'm tired.
Yeah, a little tired.
A little bit tired.
Yeah, you guys were just telling me about this schedule you've had of running around and whatnot. Where have you been, like, within the past 2 weeks, where have you been?
Well, we started...
I don't remember.
we started rehearsals in Washington, D.C., flew to Los Angeles, played Boston Festival in Los Angeles, flew to Las Vegas, played that night.
Flew back to Frisco.
To San Francisco, played that night.
Then flew
to
the next night to Nashville, played that night.
Played last night, and then drove. Now we started the driving part of the tour, so drove from Nashville
now
to Chicago today.
Right?
So yeah. So I had a little bit of sleep the past 5 days. Or so.
Very little.
So a little tired right now.
More. That's all.
What gets you guys to get up on the stage and still be as energized if it's day one?
Because we hate each other.
That works.
No, it's just it's like drug addiction. You can't stop doing it. I mean, you know, well, yeah, I did that, but
yeah,
that's not the point.
Gotcha.
You get adrenaline from music,
pumping,
the live audience, energy from the audience. That's really, if it wasn't for the energy coming from the audience, we wouldn't have any energy to give back. So.
Yeah, and there's no you guys than there is any us, right?
That's a very true story. It's been interesting seeing how right now the house is already packed just for the opening band. You guys have fans running around, loyal Pentagram fans. And it seems as though, correct me if I'm wrong, but without the fans, the reemergence of Pentagram might not be happening. Is that true or false statement?
Oh, it's very true. More than true.
Absolutely. It's a miracle.
Yeah.
I just thank God.
Obviously, it's essential for the fans to be there. What's cool is that now there's a fan base that's like from 16 to 60. It's dads who turn their sons on or daughters or whatever, to this music, and then they kind of took it. And so we've got, it's just amazing the vast range of age.
Started out with just like a bunch of sweaty young dudes, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like I've seen people with gray hair like mine, old people, and they got their grandchildren, their kids. I mean, it's a real trip. It's very enjoyable. It's satisfying. It's finally giving some true fulfillment to me as a person that they directed to.
In recent history, we've seen fans come together, find bands that they love, document them and bring them back. Of course, we saw Anvil, now Pentagram, you guys have a documentary coming out. So what can you tell me as far as film's importance and the film and fans and bringing back the good music?
Well, as far as the documentary goes, the
documentary's more about me.
It's kind of more about Bobby's, life and that kind of thing. It's
fighting
not
off
so
demons.
much about the band.
There's only
we haven't even seen. I haven't seen the film yet, but from what Bobby tells me, there's not necessarily that much music.
There's only 2 minutes of music in the whole thing, and it's very depressing.
So it's sort of
hard to watch.
More of a kind of a docudrama.
Yeah, it's a human interest story. So.
Do you wish they would focus on the music more, or are you happy with them focusing on your tale?
There was more music. I pushed and pushed and pushed, and they just started getting more and more dramatic about it, I guess. And so I don't have any control over that. Hey, how you doing? And it's just one of those let it roll things.
Gotcha.
They were with me from, it took 5 years to make this thing. Over the course of 5 years, going through a lot of personal turmoils and meeting my wife, getting back together again. Wow.
Gotcha. Well then, after coming out of all this with Pentagram coming out, how does that whole wild ride influence the music as far as getting clean and pulling through it all? Because like you were telling me before I turned the camera on, there are a lot of the people who have gone down that path and don't have a tale to tell right now. How does that affect the music?
It's a miracle. I finally got a different message in my head. Victor was very helpful in that.
Well, one thing is, for the average person who might go down that same road, The difference, I think the difference is that being musicians, we have a voice that other people might not have. You know, like the average person who is not a musician or is some kind of artist or whatever, doesn't really have a voice to put it out there for people to even really know about it. You know, fortunately for us, we have that voice as an outlet even for ourselves.
The public media.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
get the message across a little more broadly than
yeah, I mean, it's I mean, for me, I mean, I use music and lyrics and so forth as an outlet, you know, for my personal struggles and thoughts or whatever. And same as Bobby, and so that sort of puts it out there in a way. And then you know, being kind of in the spotlight, so to speak, you know, then you are asked about your own personal struggles more than the average person would be asked. So you have a stage for it, you know.
You also have a teaching platform too.
Yeah.
For people to learn what not to do.
Yeah.
You know, negative senses of it.
So it just goes to show the power of expression as far as getting through turmoil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more I listen to it now, the way we sound now, we're just like a heavy, hard rock band, you know?
With a lot of messages.
You know, with a lot of messages, you know. The lyrics probably fit into like the doom category, you know, more than like the sound of the band.
Yeah, they're downtrodden lyrics, but they're about suffrage and misery, and a lot of people misunderstood Pentagram. Remember, for about 35 years or plus, I mean, they didn't understand the lyrics are really more warning than they definitely are more warning than they are trying to steer you. Everybody's got a choice to make. You have to choose something. It's light or dark.
Yeah. Duality is definitely a theme that's explored a lot in heavy metal music, and definitely seen through a lot of your lyrics as well.
Some of the bands might have the wrong idea about what it's about. You know, it's not necessarily about tuning your guitar down low and playing with a thick, heavy tone. You know, so much as it is an experience. You know, and of your feelings and so forth, and I think that's what brings draws a lot of people to this type of music.
It's an aura of a sort.
Right.
So more of the content and less of just the sonic value?
Yeah. And I think that the people who relate to this music in that way get it. I think that this type of music is not like something you jump on the bandwagon with, you know.
It's not a widespread open thing.
I mean, you kind of either get it or you don't kind of thing, you know. It either means something to you or it doesn't. And you know, growing up listening to bands, you know, I guess Sabbath is one of the best examples. But you know, there weren't a lot of bands singing about the issues that they sang about. You know, even like the '60s wasn't all peace, love, and whatever. You know, there was a lot of heavy stuff dark stuff happening in the world. You know, and they started writing about the dark side of everything, which is kind of what we do. I mean, we definitely do that. But that's actually probably more real than the daisies and peace and love thing,
flower power.
Yeah, flower power kind of thing. So, and I don't think that's changed much in the past 30 or 40 years. It's just that I don't think people like to face it. You know.
Well,
nobody likes to be miserable, right?
No.
But they like to turn their head away from the fact that misery exists.
Yeah.
And we exploit that, I guess.
Yeah. It's a shame when I talk to some friends who have an untrained ear for metal.
Yeah.
They say I don't like angry music. I say it's not that it's necessarily angry, but it's definitely confrontational.
Yeah.
And that
it's
going to talk. What other genres can talk about this sort of subject matter? Jazz isn't going to get in here and talk about it. Other genres of music can't talk about these themes as explicitly or as directly. So
people are hung up, to bring those topics out. They choose to kind of blindside, their vision.
So then would it be safe to say Pentagram brings those sorts of things to light as far as being that confrontational side to the darker sides of life?
I would say so, yeah.
Right on. Actually, final question about your stage show, which is a red hot. Like, there's no doubt about it. Bobby, when you're on stage, it's no secret. To use the technical term, your eyes pop out of your motherfucking head. Where are you when you're on stage?
I'm connected to his guitar chord. That's really real.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how you guys, how everyone on stage has that sort of tight-knit vibe. Like, you can see that aura.
Yeah, we feel the
How
same
do you
thing.
guys generate that? Is that science, chemistry, alchemy? What is that?
It's definitely a chemistry thing. It's not something that you can make up. It's not something that you can pretend to have if you don't have.
Right.
I mean, you might.
We
pull
really
it-
care about each other.
You can pull it. You probably can pull it off for a while, but by doing that, you're really not going to go much further than that. Eventually, the whole thing will, implode. But I think Bobby and I have had that since we met. In '81 when we first met, it was sort of it was like automatic. It was like, wow, man. I think that one of the most amazing things was back then was when we put our songwriting styles together. It was basically seamless.
Yeah,
it was pretty seamless, and it still is now. I mean, the set list that we'll be doing tonight. There's not anything in the set list where we're probably doing, 50% songs Bobby wrote and 50% songs that I wrote. But if you separate them just strictly upon songwriter credits, there's still not a seamless place in the whole
they
set.
sound like it's all just one flow.
Yeah. So,
That's
we
cool.
just happened to
We
meet at
gel.
the right time, and I was looking for a singer, and he was looking for a guitar player, I guess.
And the rest is history. All right, well, fellas, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Hang Pro with UVTV, we're out.